Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your big homie Crooks the Great, aka CTG, and I'm back at you guys with another banger of an Undisputed video. And in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to utilize the Directional Dodge as well as the Weave to help you guys get more wins on the new update for Undisputed. Now, these two mechanics right here, the Directional Dodge as well as the Weave, were buffed in the last update to help them actually be more viable and more utilized in the game. But I've been noticing not a lot of people know, not only not know how to utilize it, the inputs, but in what situations they should be utilizing the Directional Dodge as well as the Weave. So in this video, we're going to be breaking both of those things down as well as the scenarios that you guys should be looking to utilize them in. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the first thing that we're going to be breaking down, and that is the Directional Dodge. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what the input is for that, it's just going to be up on your left stick or down on your left stick, right? So the animations are going to look like this. You guys see we're dodging in a direction, and that's what it's going to look like. So let's do it again. Up on the left stick, down on the left stick. Now, let's go ahead and, now that we know the inputs, now we want to go over the situations that we should be looking to utilize this these directional dodges in. The Directional Dodge is going to be good for avoiding, I've learned that they're really good for avoiding straight strikes as well as body hooks. So you're going to want to be looking for situations when an opponent is going to walk up to you and they're going to be throwing this right here. Or right now with the body jab being so spammable, you're going to be looking to Directional Dodge off of that. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to open up your opponent, if timed correctly, for a counter shot. It's going to open it up for a counter shot. You're going to be able to land. I love to land the Directional Dodge lead hook because it's going to give you a guaranteed counter shot. And then you open your opponent up most of the time if you're going up with it on the left stick. So let's say my opponent was going for a jab. If I go like this and left hook him, he's already lined up perfectly for that straight. So the directional dodge up, lead hook into power straight can be your best friend, and it's a nice clean combination for you to land. And depending on who you're using, if you're using somebody like Marquez, you could do a lot of damage if you land this over and over and over again. And the next thing you should be looking to utilize the Directional Dodge for is going to be the body hooks as well. But these are a little bit more trickier to do because if you don't utilize it in the right way, you can eat excuse me, a high damaging shot. So you want to be aware of where the hook is coming from. If you're fighting like a Canelo Alvarez, and you guys know the left hook to the body is really the preferred damage side to that. So you're just going to flick on your left stick up to avoid it. And it's going to fuck up the tracking on it. And it's going to allow you to sidestep. Same thing. You can land the power hook is what I would recommend off of that. But you can also land the lead hook straight as well if you want to. So those should be the scenarios that you guys are looking to utilize Directional Dodges in. You should be looking to step off of jabs to the body, jabs up top, straights to the body, straights up top, as well as the body hooks. That's where you guys are going to find a lot of your success. So make sure you guys are utilizing that against those specific strikes to help you guys land high damaging counter strikes. Now, with that being said, the second thing that we're going to be touching on, obviously, is going to be the weaves. Now, weaves are, let's go over the mechanics for it and the inputs for it first before we get into the situations that you should be using them in. The weave input is going to be R1 and up or down on your left stick. So it's going to look like how you guys just seen. That's up, this is down, right? That's how you're going to use your weaving mechanic. Easy, simple enough. Once you get used to the animations, you know, then you'll be ready to go in terms of learning the situations to use them in, right? So with that being said, let's get into the situation in which you should be using your weaves. Weaving, you should be using primarily against hook spammers. And I'm not talking about body hook spammers, because you can use the weave against the body hooks. They're a little harder to time out, but you should be using them against people that are going with hooks up top. So either the lead hook up top or the rear hook up top. That's where you want to be using your weave mechanics, because those are the scenarios that you're going to be landing your high damaging combinations off, right? So if my opponent, I noticed he was throwing a lot of hooks, a lot of lead hooks, right? I'm going to hold R1. I'm always going to weave to the outside of that lead shoulder. You can weave to the inside, but you run the risk of getting caught by a double hook. So weaving to the outside of the punch, to the outside of his shoulder, is always going to be the way to go. You're going to weave to the outside, and then you're going to unload a hook combination of your own. And that's what's going to get you. You guys see right there, obviously, I haven't hit Bud at all. But when I weave to the outside, you guys seen, I was able to land that lead hook, rear hook, stunned him immediately. So there's a high chance that if you weave correctly and you time it out correctly and you weave to the outside, you're going to be able to land that high damaging counter shot, and you might even get a stun depending on who you're using. So it's going to be the same thing if they're throwing a lot of rear hooks. And this goes for a lot of people that tend to throw power shots, right? Because we know the jab to the body, power hook up top is a thing. So to combat that, you're going to do the same thing, but you're just going to go up. You're going to hold R1. You're going to go up. Always slip to that outside of that punch. Not going to slip inside, because we don't want to get caught with the lead hook. Slip to the outside. Same thing. You can do the same thing. Or you can just throw your rear hand if you can time it out. But I would highly suggest you go out here. You could even throw a body hook if you want to rip down to the body. But that's how you want to use it. You want to be using that weave, the up weave, to be slipping towards the outside of that punch. That's where you're wanting to be using your weaves. You want to use your weaves against people that are throwing a lot of hooks. And it could be very, very easy. It could be a very easy thing to do based off of how your opponent is playing, right? If your opponent is going very hook heavy, you're going to want to use your weaves. You're going to want to weave either to the outside of the lead punch or to the outside of the rear punch. Just kind of make that read. You have to make the reads. That's the toughest part of the thing, is making the read. Is making the read. But once you guys get used to utilizing this, it becomes a very, very viable tool, and you guys will stack up the counter striking damage, and it'll really either A, knock out your opponent, or B, make your opponent change their game plan, which is really what you want to be doing, especially if they're spamming hooks in the game right now. But all right, my people, that's how I use directional dodges. That's how I've used weaves in the game. I want to hear if there's another way that you guys are using it that helps you guys be successful. If there is, drop a comment in the comment section. And if there isn't, let me know what you guys think of these tips as well. Are they helpful? Are they useful? Or, are they really not? Let me know. I want to hear your guys' feedback on everything that I touched in the video. I'm going to be responding to every single comment in the comment section of this video as well. But until next time, my people, take it easy, be safe. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button as well as slap that like button, so that way this video does get tossed into the YouTube algorithm and more people get to enjoy the great content that I have for you guys here on the video. But until next time, take it easy, be safe, enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from, and I will see you guys in the next video.